Felix Keaton, the lawyer representing police officer Masinde Barasa and Duncan Kiprono, accused of assaulting a Nairobi street vendor during a Tuesday's protest, has officially withdrawn from the case. Felix has cited serious threats over his life and to his family and calls and messages demanding he abandon the high-profile case. The two officers were caught on camera allegedly assaulting Boniface Kariuki, a vendor who was later shot during the protest. Before withdrawing, Keaton had on Wednesday claimed that one of his clients was a victim of mistaken identity, arguing that the bullet that hit Kariuki was not fired by his client.
We had interaction from our client and he's saying he's not the one who discharged that rubber bullet. So the person who has been arrested and remanded at Capitol Hill police station is a case of mistaken identity. He was not the one who fired that rubber bullet and we don't know who. So we are calling also upon the IPOA to take over the matter. And what raises eyebrows is the manner in which the homicide division of the DCI came into the matter. The homicide division unit can only come when the person is deceased or when we have lost someone. But we have not lost anyone. And yet we have the homicide unit coming to investigate. But of great paramountcy is the fact that a different person, a case of mistaken identity, is being remanded at Capitol police station.
Barasa and Kiprono are currently in court, with their cases now becoming emblematic of the escalating tension between a law enforcement and a digitally savvy generation demanding reforms.
Pearl Newsbeat.
Meanwhile, the family of Boniface Kariuki is calling for swift prosecution of the officer responsible, identified as Masinde Barasa. Speaking from Muranga, Kariuki's mother described the sin as a pillar of the family and urged the government to enact tough laws to curb police violence.
Boniface ameharibiwa kichwa. Hatujui itakuwa namna gani, tunangojea tu Mungu. Lakini tunaomba serikali waangalie mambo ya huyu kijana yetu. Tunaomba serikali wajali Gen Z ambayo tuko na wao.
The High Court has directed Nairobi's Central Police Station OCS Samson Talam to serve court documents in a petition seeking to hold his prosecution over the death of teacher and blogger Albert Ojwang in police custody. Talam must serve his application within 3 days and file an affidavit of service. Respondents will then have 3 days to respond with the further directions set for 30th June. Talam and Constable James Mukhwana are asking the court to stop IPOA's prosecution, arguing that a public inquest should proceed. Any charges under Section 385 or 388 of the Criminal Procedure Code. Talam says he was off duty during Ojwang's detention and contests the legality of his arrest by a civilian IPOA officer. Meanwhile, Mukhwana remains in custody as IPOA seeks to detain him for 21 more days to complete investigations.
Pearl Newsbeat.
President William Ruto has urged members of the executive to stay focused on implementing the government's development agenda rather than engaging in early political campaigns. Speaking during the opening of the 3rd National Executive Retreat in Karen, Nairobi, Ruto has expressed confidence that the government's tough decisions are beginning to bear fruit.
I have no intention whatsoever on escaping any of the commitments we made. We intend to keep them, because that is how we are going to transform Kenya. That's how we are going to transform this nation. And I am committed 100% to the transformation of this nation. And I want to persuade you as my team, the government of Kenya team, for us to know that there is no two ways about this. It has to be done, because Kenya has to change. We have waited for far too long.
The two-day retreat brings together cabinet secretaries, principal secretaries and senior officials to review the progress of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, which targets agriculture, health, MSMEs, housing and the digital economy.
Pearl Newsbeat.
Regionally, the leadership crisis in Machakos County has taken a new turn after Speaker Anna Kusia returned to the High Court, seeking to overturn orders that allowed 9 suspended MCAs to resume their duties. The Speaker had suspended the 9 MCAs for 28 sittings, accusing them of misconduct and breaching assembly procedures. But a recent court ruling gave the lawmakers temporary relief, allowing them back, a move the Speaker now says was rushed and unfair. Through her lawyer, Dunstan Omari, Speaker Kusia told the court that the MCA failed to disclose key facts on filing their case, and that she was not given a chance to present her side. She wants the orders revoked and the suspensions upheld. The suspended MCAs include Majority Leader Nicholas Nzioka, Deputy Speaker Stephen Nzwemwathi, former Minority Leader Judas Mbili Ndawa, and MCAs Felix Mutunga Ngui, Raphael Nzao, Charles Mbuva, Phoebe Koki, Ananthenya Ndilo, and Catherine Kie.
Pearl Newsbeat.
And across borders, Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo have reached a draft peace agreement in conflict in eastern Congo, according to a joint statement issued on Wednesday. by both the governments and the United States. The agreement follows 3 days of negotiations and includes the commitments to uphold territorial integrity, cease hostilities, and disarm and reintegrate non-state armed groups. A proposed joint security mechanism also features in the draft, reviving talks first launched under Angola's mediation. A final ministerial signing is expected on the 27th of June. The breakthrough comes after previous peace efforts stalled, with Angola formally stepping down as a mediator in March 2025 due to renewed fighting and diplomatic deadlock. Tensions escalated this year as M23 rebels, allegedly backed by Rwanda, seized key towns in eastern Congo, while Kinshasa blames Kigali for arming the rebels. Rwanda denies involvement, citing threats from Hutu militias operating from Congolese territory. The draft deal is viewed as a critical step towards restoring peace in a region plagued by violence, but rich in minerals such as gold, cobalt, and lithium.
Pearl Radio, the home of fresh and classic hits.